So this was the open right here. This is exactly where we called it out. This popped up. You can see it broke back, popped up again, broke back, popped up again, broke back. See how it's just constantly doing this? But the biggest takeaway on this 2-minute EWO, and if you guys remember too, we collected all of our money all up in this range, right? And it didn't go much higher, which means you allowed the little bit that you had left to ride the rest of the day. Now, the rule on the 2-minute EWO is you stay in it as long as it stays above V-WAP. This is V-WAP. Everybody see it? There was never a reason ever to get all the way out, right? So this is why I tell you, collect your profits on the way up. I think here was one, here was one, here was one, right? So we did 50, 20. Remember, we did this all together yesterday. 20, and then you still had 10 to ride, right?
Yep.
So all of this money was collected, and then you would have just allowed this to go the rest of the day. Easy breezy, lemon squeezy, no worries. The trade started down here. So all of this is profit. So really all we're looking for, right? I say 6-star, but really if you just look at 5 stars, right? If you just take out the EMAs, because the EMA crossed over here, by the way, right? So if you looked at it, your 2155 crossover, if you looked at the big screen, it crossed over here. So what you're looking for, let me zoom out. What you're looking for is obviously the first one is 2-minute EWO, right? There's your first star. Ding. Did it break pre-market high or high of day? Ding. We'll just call it high of day. I always look for pre-market because that's typically where I'm grabbing it, is if it breaks pre-market high. Pre-market high. V-WAP. Is it above V-WAP? Ding. 200. Is it above the 200 moving average? Ding. And is the overall trend going in the direction you are in? Ding. See them all?
Yes, thank you, coach.
Yeah, and if you want to throw the 6th one in, all that is the 21 has crossed over the 55, indicating there's been enough time for it to flip. That's it. So this is your 5-star trade. I just started calling a 6-star because everybody in here is starting to pay attention to this because David's talking more and more about it. But for 2-minute EWO, this is what you're looking at. Does this all make sense? Yeah, the overall trend for the day, how does it look? So if you looked at this, right, if we looked at the actual trend, you can see here, right, up. And this is why I always tell you, be careful if you're going against the grain, because you could get your face ripped off. So what I mean by that is, think about it. Some people will wait for a pullback and think, yay, I'm going to go into puts. Well, if the overall is the train is going this way and you're trying to, go this way, most likely you're going to get ran over, right? Because it's not sustainable. Does that make sense? This is why you never go against the trend. The trend is your friend.
It's hard to tell trend in the first 5 minutes of the day, though, isn't it?
No, not at all. Because look at the pre-market, right? Is the pre-market up or down?
Up.
Yep. So what is the overall trend at the gate? Up, right?
Okay. I didn't know if you use pre-market as trend, like counting towards it.
Yeah, you have to. Now, if it starts to pull down and then it keeps going down, well, guess what? Now my trend from the open is down like this, right? But if it just does what it normally does, which is drives up in the pre-market, sells off at the open, and rips you know, back to the upside, this is an overall up. If it leads up into the bell and then pulls down and continues to go down, well, guess what? Now your trend is down. Does that make sense?